Tonight, our public address announcer, Steve Marion. Steve?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Marion High School Athletic Arena for tonight's long-awaited state showdown between the Pirates of Anderson Madison Heights and the Marion Giants. Let's meet and greet the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First, for the visitors, with a record of 16 wins and no defeats, ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana, the Pirates from Madison Heights. Starting at one forward, number 34, a 6'2 senior averaging 7.9 points a game, Jeff Howard. At the other forward position, number 24, a 6'2 junior averaging 3.5 points a game, David Bradford. Starting at center, number 43, a 6'4 senior averaging 20.1 points a game, Winston Morgan. At one guard position, number 31, a 6'4 senior averaging 17.6, Brad Duncan. And at the other guard position, number 21, a 6'2 junior averaging 21.8 points a game, Stu Robinson. The Pirates are coached by Mr. Phil Buck, assisted by Mr. Lou Cotton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 12 wins and 1 defeat, ranked number 3 in the AP and the UPI poll, here are your Marion Giants. Starting at forward, number 32, a 6'5 senior, averaging 2.3 points a game, Newts. Todd Newts. Starting at the other forward position, number 40, a 6'5 junior, averaging 19.4 points a game, Price. Joseph Price. Starting at center, number 50, a 6'5 senior, averaging 15.6 points again, Peters. Ron Pete Peters. At one guard position, number 24, a 6'1 sophomore, averaging 11.8 points a game, Blackman. James Blackman. And at the other guard, number 30, a 6'1 senior, averaging 11 points a game, Adrianson, Rocky Adrianson. The Giants are coached by Mr. Larry Little, assisted by Mr. Larry Bilger.
Well, there you have it, the starting lineup for both these ball clubs. There is a bit of a change in the Marion starting lineup. Normally, Rob Oles, number 34, would get the starting call, a 6'5 senior, but in chatting with Larry Little, the head coach of the Giants prior to the ball game, he indicated that Rob has been inflicted, as have many of the players and students around the state, by the flu bug. So he missed the last game and is not at full strength yet. I'm sure we'll see him tonight. Todd Newts, number 35, takes his place. He is also 6'5", so they lose nothing in the height bracket there. Marion Giants colors are purple and gold. They'll wear the gold uniforms tonight, trimmed in the purple and white. Anderson Madison Heights, scarlet and black. In the dark color uniforms, the black uniforms trimmed in scarlet and white. The officials tonight are Jim Keeper of Richmond and Tim Fogarty of Lafayette. The opening tap control of the Anderson Madison Heights Pirates. Unbeaten in 16 tries, and they're not very big, as you can tell by the introduction of the lineup. But they are a very impressive ball club fundamentally. They do not make very many mistakes, and they beat people at over 18 points per game. So obviously they got some scoring front. Madison Heights with the basketball into the opening tip. Deep in the corner, there's that shooting ability of Stu Robinson. Robinson shoots 62% from the floor. He is a 6'2 junior, averaging just under 22 points per ball game. 21-9 as a matter of fact. Ball game. That is Todd Newts. He is the young man I mentioned starting in place of Rob Oles. So the substitution by Larry Little pays off handsomely early on in the contest. His first 2 points of the night. Good pick and roll to the baseline. Bucket's going to count. The foul is going to be called against Marion Giants, Todd Newts. Newts picks up the personal foul, and the basket is going to count, yes. Todd Newts' first foul. And that will send number 43 to the free throw line. That'll be Winston Morgan. Winston Morgan's an outstanding young man, averaging 20.2 to lead the ball club. He also leads the team in rebounds at 12.8. And as a matter of fact, the head coach of the Anderson Madison Heights Pirates, Phil Buck, as he misses the free throw, indicates that Winston Morgan has the best hands and is the finest rebounder he has ever coached. And he has coached a couple of good ones. We'll talk more about that as we have an opportunity. Oh, great reverse move inside. James Blackman on the reverse layup. Blackman's first field goal, and it's a 4-4 basketball game. Madison Heights and Marion. Madison Heights with the basketball. 3-on-1 advantage on the break behind the back. There was a foul right at the midcourt stripe. It'll be an offensive foul. Wipe off the bucket. The foul goes against number 50, Ron Peters. While play continued up floor, a timeout was, or a personal foul was called on Peters. Right at the midcourt stripe. The defensive man held his position. Right on the end in the middle of the floor. There is Larry Little down on his haunches in the check suit. He has been around here at Marion now for some 5 years. This is the 5th year, and he has just done a sensational job. Madison Heights in the dark uniforms. We're tied at 4 with 6.5 minutes to play in the first period. Tipped away by Rocky Adrianson. It's a 4-on-1 break. They swing it down the lane. There's 2 more. This time for Joseph Price. Oh, that is a great transition game. There's a foul in the process. Foul is against number 43, Winston Morgan, his first of the night. The transition game of the Marion Giants that time was simply sensational. They got out on the break and had a 4-on-1 advantage. They got the field goal from Joseph Price, his first of the night, and likewise picked up the personal foul, which will send Price to the free throw line. He's an 82% shooter from the stripe. Now that gives the Marion Giants the biggest lead of either ball club so far this evening at 3. It's 7-4 with 6:18 to play in the first period. Rebound near side by Ron Peters on the missed shot by Brad Duggan. Marion's in a hurry tonight. Inside Rocky Adrianson. And a whistle and a foul. It'll be a charging foul against Adrianson. Rocky Adrianson just announced, I believe this morning or yesterday sometime, that he had turned down the offer of a college football scholarship to Indiana University and instead is going to go to Northwestern on a basketball scholarship. Wants to play basketball up there for the Wildcats. 7-4 is your score with 2 minutes gone in the first period. It's Marion out in front, but now the lead is trimmed as Winston Morgan gets his second bucket of the night. Morgan averaging 20.2. Here's that full-court press being employed by the Madison Heights Pirates. It's a full-court zone press, and Marion so far having not much difficulty in breaking it. This is Rocky Adrian, center point. Left corner, 24, James Blackman. They come to the near side to Todd Nukes. Blackman again. Rebound. Plenty of black shirts in the middle that time to pull off the rebound. And the Madison Heights Pirates bring it across the timeline, down by 1. 7-6, they trail, they turn it over. Brad Duncan looking down to the baseline, and something distracted him momentarily. He palmed the ball. The official right on top of the play made the call. These benches are only about 20 or 25 feet apart directly in front of us here. And there'll be a lot of movement because there's, of course, if you move here, you're liable not to find your seat again. It's jam-packed. Joseph Price. Price is the top scorer for Marion, 19.4. Top rebounder, just under 9, and leads the team in steals with 21. But very quickly, Madison Heights returns the honors by Brad Duncan's first 2 points of the ball game. Duncan with a 17-6 scoring average is listed by head coach Bill Buck as the team leader of this ball club. His first 2 points, he shoots 51% from the floor. Whistle. And a lane violation called underneath. I think perhaps Joseph Price got stationed in there. The baseline official, Tim Fogarty, make the call. There is Bill Buck. Well, this gentleman's got a track record and a half. He has been around for a while. 15th year at Anderson Madison Heights. He's won 6 sectionals, 3 regionals, and 1 semi-state. Bucket by David Bradford, his first 2 of the contest. Bradford appears to be getting free about 12 to 15 feet right out in front of the bucket. We'll check the defensive alignment next time up court. Penetration, bucket will not count. There was a foul call prior to the attempted shot. Foul will be on David Bradford. And they say before the shot, so the foul on Bradford is personal foul number 1 on him. Second team foul, and obviously prior to the shot means no shots involved. 4 minutes, 28 seconds to play. First period of 10-9 basketball game. Madison Heights has gone in front by 1 after falling behind by 3. Madison Heights in a 2-3 zone. Over the middle of Ron Peters. Peters couldn't get it to fall, and now the break goes the other way. Here is Stu Robinson. Robinson's second field goal, and suddenly Madison Heights goes in front by 3. That is likewise their largest lead of the game. We expected some scoring tonight. Both these ball clubs to make the scoreboard click. Deep man Todd Nukes off the rebound, hands it off to Blackman again. James Blackman, only a sophomore at 6'1". 3 minutes and 45 seconds. First period. 12-9 your score. There's a steal. Beautifully done. Lead pass near side. Robinson tried to hook it up. Lost it away. Whistle inside. And a jump ball. The pass came from Brad Duncan to Stu Robinson. It was a beautiful pass, and it appears that Robinson just got himself out of position, in too deep, and had to reach back up for the hook layup and didn't get it. They'll fill it up again. The ball was actually out of the reach of either of the players. For Marion, number 24, James Blackman, the 6'1 sophomore, is jumping. And for the Madison Heights Pirates, number 43, Winston Morgan. Got control by Marion. Taken away, and finally out of bounds, and a walking violation called against the Marion Giants. Juan Joseph Price. It means Madison Heights gets it again. It's a 12-9 score right now, with 3-point differential, with Madison Heights out in front. They've got the basketball and trying to move some of the fans back across the way in front of the Marion cheering section over there. They're right up on the edge of the floor. Foul, reaching over the shoulder. Ron Peters is number 2. That was almost a sensational defensive play. Peters made the block up high, but then picked up the body contact, and Larry Little's gone to the bench. Very quickly, here comes Rob Oles. Now, I mentioned that Rob was supposed to be, or would normally be, in that starting lineup, but because of the flu bug, he did not get the starting call tonight. 6'5 senior, averaging 8.7 and just over 6 rebounds per contest. At the free throw line, Winston Morgan, first free throw for the Madison Heights Pirates tonight. As a ball club, they shoot 73.5% from the free throw line and 55% from the floor. So does Marion, as a matter of fact. Madison Heights shoots .552, Marion .550. Second one won't go. Rebound comes off to the Marion Giants. Quickly up court they go. Blocked away, foul. So Stu Robinson, number 1 on him. And again, Marion extremely quick getting out of the starting gate and starting on the fast break. Marion Giants have been almost unstoppable in this field house. They lost to Fort Wayne, and that was only the 4th home loss in 7 years against 105 victories since this thing was built in 1971. They are 132-19. Larry Little is 66-3 in here, so that's why you like that home court advantage. Todd Nukes banks home 2 out of 2 free throws. He has 4 points, and the lead goes to 13-11 now with Marion still down. And the rebound put back up and good by Winston Morgan. Morgan's having a good game. He has 7 points on 3 field goals and 1 out of 2 from the line. And the lead is back to 4 again at 15-11. Marion's biggest margin has been 3. 3 minutes to play. First period. Blackman pinned to the corner, comes back to Adrianson again, and the ball walked away. They tried to swing it down inside, and Joseph Price got the ball between his legs. He couldn't find the handle on it. 2:35 to go, first period. Anderson, Madison Heights. Rebounded by Noose. Todd's having a good ball game. Todd Noose has played in only 10 of the 13 games that the Marion Giants have played this year. Averaging 2.3. Here is the steal and the breakaway, and the layup is good. That is Stu Robinson's 3rd field goal, and that's Larry Little, and he wants a timeout. Second half of our special Friday night sports doubleheader here on Channel 4. Following the Pacers-Boston Celtics game, it's the high school game of the week and maybe of the year as far as the fans in Marion and Anderson Madison Heights are concerned. That is Marion's James Blackman getting his 2nd bucket of the contest. His 4 points to chop that lead down to 17-13. Anderson Madison Heights has run ahead 5-6, the biggest lead for either club. Can't get it this time. Rebound across the way, but there was a foul call, and it is so noisy in here that there are going to be difficult moments trying to hear the officials. That foul is on Joseph Price. There is Joseph, number 40. He is an all-star candidate, according to head coach Larry Little. Caught for backing in to the rebounding man, Stu Robinson. And Stu will not go to the line because there were no shots involved. There's not a shooting violation, and we're not... Yes, we are into the bonus already, as a matter of fact, so he will be at the line. It's not... Robinson, it's Jeff Howard. Jeff Howard, the starting forward, yet to score in tonight's game, averaging just under 8 points per contest. And Marion really strong off the board, climbing high. They've got the height advantage tonight. Talking to her a little prior to the contest, I asked if he had any special game plan. He said no. When you're ranked 3 in the state, you're 12-1. There's no sense changing something. The old axiom, you dance with who brung you. And his ball club will go down now 17-13. Has showed a good transition game and been impressive off the defensive board. Rocky Adrianson. Near side man is Todd Newt. Newt will have a dozen. He's the top scorer for the Giants, who trail now by 2 at 17-15. Fine move inside by Winston Morgan. Morgan is a great college prospect, according to head coach Bill Buck, and I think if what we have seen so far is any indication of his general overall ability, you can see why. Oops. Man in the middle, moving away from the basketball was Rob Oles, but the Madison Heights Pirates give the ball right back. Adrianson tried to penetrate the middle, and Oles was just not there. So Blackman and Adrianson will bring the ball across the timeline. They have set up Todd Nukes on the high post. Down on one side, Joseph Price. This is Nukes. The other man in there is Rob Oles. 35 seconds to play in the first period. 19-15, Marion trails. Cannot get it to fall again. Rebounded and a walking violation. Rob Oles had a hold of the basketball but couldn't maintain good solid control. The official under the hook called the violation. So the Madison Heights Pirates get it again. Madison Heights averaging 78.4 and giving up only 60.1 defensively. Marion averaging 75.7, allowing 62.5 points per contest. So when you put them down on paper, there's not a whole lot of difference between these two outfits. Down to 11 seconds. We're down to 9. 19-15, Madison Heights with the lead in the basketball. Down to 5 seconds to go in the first period. Tapped up once, twice, and that's the end of period number 1. At the top ranked Madison Heights Pirates lead number 3 ranked Marion 19-15 in the first. 4 to 75-6 defensively. I gave you those earlier. 60.1 to 62.5. The shooting is almost identical. Not much difference in the free throw department. Rebounds. Marion has a bit of an advantage because of their height, and they're also a little better off the defensive board, not allowing the opposition many opportunities. But when you put all the numbers together, for the most part, it's anybody's basketball game, and that's where it is right now. Marion down, though, 19-15, as we headed right into the second period of play. TV4's second bonus high school game of the week. We were in Terre Haute on Wednesday and had a great one over there with North and South. For the hospitality we got at the Holman Civic Center and now to Terre Haute North and South, we won't forget it. We appreciate it very much. Marion appears to slow the basketball down a little bit. Adrianson going cross-court down to Blackman. Penetration down the lane. It is good. It will count, and a foul is called against Madison Heights, Stu Robinson. And only 2 on Stu. Well, that's a good move down the lane that time. But that young man, number 24, James Blackman. That is, of course, there's Stu Robinson on your screen. Blackman getting his third field goal. He has a half a dozen points. He averages 11.8. He has been in 12 of the 13 games for the Marion Giants so far. He's at the free throw line for the first time tonight, shooting 74.5%. He'll get but one opportunity as the three-point play. And the Marion Giants top that 4-point lead down to 1 at 19-18. Todd Nukes is the top scorer for the Giants with 6. The Madison Heights Pirates with 9. It is Winston Morgan, 4 field goals and 1 out of 2 from the strike. Oh, tremendous effort that time from David Bradford. Coach Bill Buck says he is a good 15-foot shooter. That was not quite 15 feet, but a really super pass to the baseline. And there was the open man, Bradford, getting his first field goal this period, the second of the night. 21-18. Madison Heights by 3. Thrown away by Rob Oles. Lets the traffic catch up and comes to Joseph Price. And a whistle, and the bucket will not count. A walking violation on James Blackman. You might expect, I think, under the conditions of the sellout crowd and the top-ranked teams in the state, television cameras, that these clubs might come out a little bit shaky, but they have shown not that many moments of despair. There's again the pass to the baseline. This time, Stu Robinson was the recipient of the pass and his 8th point of the contest. 23-18 as Madison Heights runs back in front by 4. 6.5 minutes to go, first half. Price. They swing it around the horn. They're looking in low now, trying to go to Rob Oles. Oles is positioned low, and the outside shot is blocked home by James Blackman. Blackman, with his 9th point, he has scored all 5 of the second period points for the Marion Giants, who now trail by 3 at 23-20 with 6 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the second period. What a rebound by Blackman. Oh, super pass and 2 more. Goaltending was going to be called, but it went in anyway. Rocky Adrianson gets the hook on a James Blackman assist that was out of sight. Blackman took that thing off the board and then put it up court, and he's just laid one on the money to Rocky Adrianson for his first bucket of the contest. Madison Heights still in front, though, 23-22. Whistle, foul, Marion Giants in the corner. They love to go down there to Winston Morgan. And the foul is tacked on to Todd Nukes. That'll be 2 on him. He joins Juan Peters with a pair. For Madison Heights, Stu Robinson has 2. Nobody else really serious foul difficulty. Marion Giants principal is Richard Persinger. Jim Fricky is the athletic director. 2,100 students, a 3-year school. 7690 is the official capacity of the gym tonight. The Marion Athletic Arena, and it is full to the rafters. We want coming here. It's our second trip here in a couple of 3 years, and hospitality they serve up is unsurpassed. Winston Morgan will try again. He is just his last 2. Morgan down with 10. He's the top scorer for Madison Heights, despite the fact that's only his first point this period. 24-22. Madison Heights. Marion's basketball with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play. And they got it down in the corner, and unfortunately for Marion, Joseph Price stepped on the out-of-bounds line. So Robinson and Bradford bring it up. Near side, they come to Brad Duncan. And I would believe this is going to be an offensive foul. Nope, we get a lane violation. Away from the ball. Jeff Howard got called to the official down low, Tim Fogarty, for standing in the lane and picking up the 3-second violation. This gives the ball back to Marion and James Blackman and Rocky Adrianson. Adrianson, number 30, Blackman, number 24. That's into the basketball. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the half. 24-22, Madison Heights. Game has been tied twice at 2 and at 4. Madison Heights has been ahead by as many as 6. Whistle, foul. Madison number 24. That's David Bradford, number 2. You'll get a chance to take a look at this again. Now, here is the move. Marion showing some good quickness. You see 24 on your screen. Bradford trying to cover up, trying to save the bacon. He cannot. He did prevent the field goal. But now James Blackman goes to the free throw stripe. He is 1 for 1. He is 9 points, 5 in this period. James Blackman is the all-time freshman leading scorer at Marion High School. Played a lot of varsity ball last year and played well. Rebounded by Jeff Howard. Madison Heights still up by 1, 24-23. Brings it across the line, and they appear to be a bit more deliberate now than they were early in this contest. They love to go to the baseline. Their passing has been super tonight. There's the outside shot, and a rebound, and over the shoulder, the foul call on Jeff Howard. And that's one on Jeff. And we will make that long trek to the other end of the floor. The Madison Heights Pirates, Superintendent Leonard Austin. Maurice Wan is the principal. Paul Bradford, the athletic director. An enrollment of 1,730. It is a 4-year school. School colors are scarlet and black. Dr. Ronald Carter, by the way, is the superintendent of Marion High. And a timeout has been called. With 4:55 to go here in the first half of his career there. Then at Muncie South on the 13th of February. Home against Chittard on the 14th. And at Richmond to close out the season on the 20th of February. So you Madison Heights fans, win or lose tonight, whatever the case may be, keep backing this ball club as they wind down toward tournament time. Joseph Price, first points this period, 2 out of 2 from the line, 6 points in the contest, and we are tied at 24. Joseph Price brings Marion from a 6-point deficit to a 1-point lead with 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the first half. Good shot from our floor-level camera, looking right at the offensive alignment. The Madison Heights Pirates has Stu Robinson knocks home his 10th point of the contest. Robinson, remarkable 62% shooter from the floor, and right back at the other end, Joseph Price answers the call with his 9th point of the night. Shooting is really picking up. Ball clubs have kind of slowed down some of the harem scarum. Well, Marion is very adept in that transition game, and they're playing a 3-2 zone right now. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to play in the half. 27-26, Marion up by 1. Knocked away, but saved by Brad Duncan. Duncan shuffles it back out to Bradford, and Bradford jumping his feet. Right in front of the Marion Giants bench, that is Larry Little with conversation with James Blackman. 4 minutes and 5 seconds in the half. Marion with a chance to get back in front by its biggest margin of the contest. They led by 3 in the first period. They have trailed by as many as 6. They're up by 1 at 27-26 with 3:55 to play in the second period. Adrianson is number 30 and Blackman is 24. They have handled the ball a great deal here in the first half. This is Joseph Price. Back to Adrianson. Now to Blackman. Back to Rocky again. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. A super rebound by James Blackman and a foul called on Madison Heights. We'll wait for the referee to make the signal. On number 43, that's Winston Morgan. That's 2 on him. He becomes the third Madison Heights Pirate to pick up his second personal foul. As of yet, nobody in any serious difficulty in that category. There is Phil Buck, the head coach of the Madison Heights Pirates. Phil, as I mentioned, in his 15th year. He's been here since 1966. He's coached a couple of All-Stars, Bobby Wilkerson and Ray Tolbert. Ray was Mr. Basketball in 77. With both young men. Bobby Wilkerson having gone to IU, and Ray Tolbert's still there. James Blackman's had a good second period. 7 points, 11 in the contest. And Marion has fouled back to its biggest lead of the night at 3 points. It's now 29-26, and they quickly took into that full-court press. As soon as the ball is inbounded, they fall back into the 2-3 zone. It's just to kind of harass Madison Heights on the inbounds pass. Brad Duncan, second field goal. Brad is the team leader. He's shooting over 51% from the floor, but only 4 points so far tonight. 29-28. Marion's lead still at 1. Open man is Price. Swings inside about 12 feet out front, and it won't get the roll. Pirates bring it out. In a hurry, they come to Brad Duncan. Duncan has nobody in front of him. Finally, they catch up. Oh, there's gold shirts everywhere. Now the advantage on the break when it was a 2-on-1. Oh, sensational play by Rocky Adrianson. Adrianson did a remarkable job at just getting around the defensive man because he could have picked up a charging violation there about as easy as time. But he, with great peripheral vision, saw the defensive man and got around him. Marion rebound. Here they come again. A 2-on-1. Adrianson. Cross court to his ready-made guard, and it will not fall for James Blackman. It will not count. Wipe it off. You see the referee making the call. And the foul is going to be against Marion. And it looks to me as if it will be on James Blackman, number 24. The official right in front of us here explaining to head coach Larry Little what he has called. It is on James Blackman, his first of the contest. Larry Little, assistant coaches Larry Bilger out of Franklin College, coaches the varsity reserves. He also has Ray Sims from Marion, Mel Weissong of Ball State, and Jack Raby out of Indiana State. They all help coach the freshman team. JV score, by the way, 76-72. Marion won that one. Now reaching in, Stu Robinson. Robinson has picked up number 3. Stu Robinson averages 21-9. He is, as described by head coach Bill Buck, a young Isaiah Thomas. And of course, going to make Isaiah feel kind of old, I guess, when you're a sophomore in college and there's somebody in high school who is a young you. Isaiah out of Indiana University playing for Bobby Knight. A young Isaiah Thomas, as Bill Buck describes him, will now leave the lineup. Stu comes out of there with 10 points. But he has 3 personal fouls. And at the free throw line for Marion, Joseph Price. He is 3 for 3. 31-28. Marion still with the lead. 2 minutes exactly to play in the first half. Underway at halftime, we have the Marionettes performing for you. Winston Morgan with his first field goal of this 8-minute session. Now 12 points to nine. He's the top scorer for the Madison Heights Pirates. As they go for their 17th victory against no defeats and try to protect that number 1 rating. Out of bounds and off the fingertips of James Blackman. Good defense being employed that time by Brad Duncan out of the guard slot for the Madison Heights Pirates. There he is right there. Brad Duncan, number 31, 6'4" senior, averaging 17.6 and leads the team in assists with just over 4 per. That is the man who came off the bench in substitution for Stu Robinson, Jeff Ritter, a 6'1" junior. Jeff gets his first 2 of the night. He assisted as the 6th man. For the Madison Heights Pirates, he comes in with an average of 3.7, having played in 15 of the 16 games. 32-31 is your score. Madison Heights is back in front now by 1. They were down by 3 a couple of seconds ago. Marion Whiteley working the ball around the horn, trying to make somebody free in low. Down low they have Rob Olds positioned there. Joseph Price joins the play. Todd Newts is also along the front line, and out back it's James Blackman and Rocky Adrianson. That is Price. He didn't get it, but he got the foul. He'll go to the line. Foul is on Brad Duncan. Number 1 on Brad. And this will bring Joseph Price to the line. There's head coach Larry Little. The Marion Giants, 45, married, 3 youngsters, graduate of Lawrenceburg High and Hanover College. Began his head coaching career down in my own hometown of Sullivan. 4 years there as assistant basketball and head track coach. Then he moved on to Rockville for a couple of years, Milan for 5, Hammond Park for 4, Merrillville for 3, and now in his 5th year at Marion, an 89-19 record coming into the season. Joseph Price has 6 points in the period, 11 on the contest. Is a 33-32 lead with Marion back in front again. Rebounded by Rob Olds. Madison Heights is very patient, but they're also not afraid to take the outside shot. Brad Duncan let that one go. Larry Little in front of us says, let's play for the final shot of the half. Marion ahead by 33-32, and you'll catch a glimpse of Larry Little from time to time, and he gets off the bench and moves around. We've not seen much activity out of Phil Buck, so he's been up a couple of times. Giants content now to try to work to the final shot. We're down to 10 seconds and a half. Here is Adrianson. They got it inside, and that's the end of the first half of play. And it's exactly the kind of a game you would expect when you come to Marion, no matter who they're playing, but particularly when they're going against the number 1 ranked team in the state of Indiana. Halfway through our special edition Channel 4 High School Basketball Game of the Week, it's the Marion Giants 35, the Madison Heights Pirates 32. Stay with us now for our special halftime show. Go by here in a couple of minutes. The Marion Giants, they've had only 4 players score, but 23 of the points they have on the board, a total of 35. 23 of those have come from those players. 12 points out of James Blackman in an 8-point second period, and Joseph Price likewise got more in the second period, finished up with 6 points there and 11 on the night. Madison Heights Pirates have 5 players scoring, 12 points of Winston Morgan, but Winston is a little bit of difficulty. He has a couple of personal fouls, and 10 points from Stu Robinson. Now, Stu does indeed have some problems. About 3/4 of the way through the second period, he picked up personal foul number 3. They took him out of the lineup. He will be back, I'm sure, of the second half. Robinson with 10 points, 4 points each out of David Bradford and Brad Duncan, and 2 over the Madison Heights Pirate. And the second half is going to be a doozy. That I can guarantee you. It's time now for another Hoosier Hysteria flashback. The year is 1967, and a newcomer to the Final Four is going all the way to the IHSAA championship. Now here is tonight's flashback, 1967. Madison Heights. Pirates have it. Down by 3 at 35-32. Wondering how Marion got that 3-point lead. One of the reasons is they shot 57% of the first half. Outstanding move from James Blackman, and Blackman now is the top scorer on the floor. He has 14. His average is only 11-8. Played in 12 of the 13 games. They shot 57%, did Marion, in the first half. That'll win a lot of ball games. But they're shooting 55% on the year as a team, so maybe this is not unbelievable. Trying to go backdoor, deflected away, but dragged out of there by Madison Heights. The super defensive play by Ron Peters. But Madison Heights maintains control, and they get 2 on the 5 baseline move of Jeff Howard. That for Jeff is his first 2 points in the contest. They need him. He's averaging 8 per. A minute gone. Period number 3. Our special edition Channel 4 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Number 1 and number 3 teams in the state of Indiana. That's the number 3 team that has it now. The Marion Giants. Number 1, Madison Heights Pirates. disaster play off the missed shot by Joseph Price is Rob Peters, and he gets his first two of the play. Peters averaging 15.5 per, leads the team in blocked shots with 23, and that was his first offensive tally of the night. Very quickly, Madison Heights' Stu Robinson, who did get the starting call from head coach Phil Buck in the second half, despite the fact that he has 3 personal fouls, has his 12th point of the night. 6.5 minutes to go. Period 3, 39-36. Still Marion's lead at 3. Get it off from Price, will double up. Todd Newt, the 6'5 senior, number 32, on your screen, will move in to jump against number 43, Winston Morgan. Marion Giants are 12-1 and lost to Fort Wayne. Captain controlled by Madison Heights. 6 minutes, 10 to play, third period. 39-36 basketball game. Marion has to lead. They've run a great portion of this game. Madison Heights has had the biggest lead by their ball club, though, at 6 at one point in the first period. Managed to get back in front of the second period. That was a nip and tuck affair right from the get-go. 39-36 is your score. Marion with the lead. Now they get the basketball again, and the lob pass up to Rocky Adrianson. Defensive effort caused that particular bucket, and a timeout has been called by Phil Buck and the Pirates. 5:43 to go, third period. Marion has its biggest lead of the ball game at 41-36. We'll be right back. I see from time to time, like across the way, those little yellow cards on the left shoulders of most of the Marion students. It says, remember, last year Madison Heights beat Marion by a score of 77-72, and it's a reference to last year. Remember last year. That's what they're talking about. The little sides they're talking about, referring to. Loose ball, we'll jump it up. Well, Marion's been tough on this floor. That loss to Fort Wayne back on the 10th of the month was only the 4th home loss in 7 years, as I mentioned. In that ball game, Larry Little said we were out-rebounded, out-hustled, out everything we needed to win. They were outscored 25-12 in the second period. Not through tonight. They're up by 41-36. Trying to add to it, cannot. Great position inside by Stu Robinson on the rebound. And little Marcus Haynes dribbling that, bringing it out of the pack. 5:11 to go, third period. That chops the margin by 2. That's the field goal from Winston Morgan. Morgan had a great first period with 9. Scored only 3 times in the second quarter. His first bucket here in period number 3 gives him a total of 14 in the contest. 41-38. Marion lead chopped down to 3 again. 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play, and that's the third quarter. Ron Peters. That's Ron Peters, number 50, his second field goal. Peters has had a little problem with the blue bug also, but you can almost say that about anybody in the state of Indiana of late. 4.5 minutes to go. Third period. They try to go backdoor. It's intercepted by Joseph Price. Lead pass to Blackman, and it will not count. He walked with the basketball. Price did a good job getting it out of there, and Blackman turned it over. So the Madison Heights Pirates will bring it in again. And there's a bit of debris on the floor. They get that out of there. Madison Heights has a game at Muncie North on Friday. Next Friday, the 30th. And Muncie Central on February the 6th, but a timeout has been called. 43-38 is your score with Madison Heights trailing. And that, is, of course, is the biggest difference in this ball game, 5 points. Madison Heights has beaten some of the right teams in the state. They downed Anderson-Highland 91-88, the time that Highland was ranked 10th by AP and 15th by UPI. They knocked off New Albany in the Hall of Fame Classic at Muncie Central at that time. New Albany ranked 4th and 5th. They beat Indianapolis Washington, giving their first loss of the year. At that time, 71-59, they were ranked 5th by AP and 3rd by UPI, and that's the team we'll be seeing next Wednesday, by the way. And then on the 10th, as I mentioned, they rolled over Fort Wayne South 72-62, and club ranked 10th by AP and 5th by UPI. Marion has beaten Lafayette Jeff. In fact, I'm sure there must have been some concern in the Marion camp. That was the game they had to play after they lost to Fort Wayne, but they beat the Broncos 54-51 at the point in time. Lafayette Jeff ranked 4th by AP and 6th by UPI. It was their first loss of the year. They beat Wabash 81-47 earlier in the season. They were up 27-6 after the first. That was the second game of the year. And they must have given Larry Little some indication, yeah, this is going to be a good ball club. Against Fort Wayne South, another ranked ball club, 16th by AP and 10th by UPI. They hit 67% from the floor and beat Fort Wayne South by a 90-72 score. They lost Rocky Adrianson for the Richmond game. They still won at 60-55. He came right back for the Newcastle game, the next contest, and they won 76-71. Then came that loss to Fort Wayne Wade. They are at Fort Wayne Northrop tomorrow night. They don't get much rest. Then home on the 30th against North Central of Indianapolis. But right now, more important matters at hand. Madison Heights has the basketball. They are down by 5, and now it's 3. Long range gunning by Brad Duncan. Duncan has not been afraid to pull the trigger on the outside shot tonight when it looked like the defense was sagging in low. He's let it fly. It's 43-40. Marion with the lead on the basketball with exactly 4 minutes to play, third period. Ron Peters tried the left hand. Got nothing out of there. The rebound in the hands of Winston Morgan. Here comes Duncan again. Almost threw it away, but Stu Robinson was there. Robinson 12 feet out front, rolls for left ball. Rebound on good position by Todd Nukes. In a hurry to block this. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to play in this the third quarter. And a 43-40 lead for the third-ranked Marion Giants of Larry Little. Nukes, oh, great defensive play. Back up into the crowd from Winston Morgan. Great hands, super rebounder, outstanding college prospect. Leads the team in scoring and rebounding, and look at him get in the air here. He is 6'4", a senior, and he just bats it up in the sky. And a timeout has been called by Larry Little as you watch the replay there. Marion Giants. Last year, 25-3. It was their 18th consecutive winning season as you peek into the huddle and look right away to the head of Larry Little. They lost a blow on that Stacy Turan 57-footer at the buzzer, and that's something I'm sure Larry will take with him the rest of his life. What an unbelievable situation that was in the afternoon game of the state finals at Market Square Arena. Last year they won their third North Central Conference championship. They finished up fourth in that final AP regular season poll, and there are those signs I was talking about earlier. You can see them very plainly there. Madison. IU in the 1954-55 season. Went to Rossville High for 6 years, Frankfurt High for 5, and now in his 15th year as the head coach at Madison Heights. They lost to Gary 75-67 in the afternoon game of the state finals back in 1972. And they made that final four. Coach, governor of all staters, all-stars, Bobby Wilkerson, Ray Tolbert. Lou Cotton is the assistant. For Bill Buckham, you see on your screen, he's on a Syracuse University as Lou Cotton, B-team and varsity assistant. As a matter of fact, he played for Bill Buck at Addison Madison Heights, so it's nice to see one of the students come back. And we're ready to come back to action again as Marion will inbound just to our left. Can't find anybody open. They threw it right in the hands of one of the Anderson players. Didn't make any difference. They wasted the 5 seconds anyway. Rocky Adrianson couldn't find anybody free. And credit the Madison Heights defense for the sensational job of defending the inbound pass. 3 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Third quarter. Again, the outside bomb of Brad Duncan. Got a whistle inside. And a foul of Anderson Madison Heights. David Bradford. That is number 3 on David as you look at it again, and I've got him down for the first foul in the second half. Here comes the collision right there. And that's the foul on Bradford. I have him down for 3. That is indeed correct. 3 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. Madison Heights is backed off defensively a bit. Still picking him up the timeline, and the Giants throw it away. Joseph Price looking to the baseline. Too much steam on it. Nobody close. 3:10 to go. Third quarter. Marion a 43-40 leader. They have been ahead by as many as 5 this quarter. That was their biggest lead of the contest. Well, they're going to give it to Brad Duncan again. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Duncan isn't shy. He shoots 51% from the field. That's his 8th point. He had 4 in the first half, 4 already here in the third quarter. And that's a foul on Duncan, reaching in. Number 2 on him, second against the ball club this period. No shots involved. There's Duncan. Brad, team leader, a 6'4" senior, leads the team in assists with 4.1 per contest. Rocky Adrianson was a quarterback on the football team, all-time pass leader. Marion High School. This pass goes out of bounds, and the Madison Heights Pirates get it again. See Larry Little at the bottom of your screen, just sort of down on his launches and making no motion at all. You can just imagine a slow burn going on inside. 43-42. Marion leads top to 1 with 2:41 to play. Third period. Madison Heights has the basketball. Taken away. Adrianson on the takeaway. They fill the lanes beautifully. Then it's deflected away by Duncan. Here is the lob pass to Howard. Can't get it. Rebound picked up by Peters. Kicked away. Belongs to Madison. Madison Heights. Bill Buck having a bit of conversation with Brad Duncan. When you pick up a North Central Conference game, you can always expect excitement. And boy, I'm telling you, these clubs have given it to us tonight. 43-42 the score. Exactly the kind of a game you expect to get two of the state's best together. They love it weak side, bring it back out to the point to Stu Robinson again. In that corner, rebounded by Joseph Price, and a foul. It's on Jeff Power. That'll be two on him, third against the club. Change of the lineup now for the Marion Giants coming back into the ball game. Number 22, Jeff Ritter. And he will, now beg your pardon, let's make it Mark Bilger coming into the lineup for the first time. He's looking at the Giants bench. Number 22, Mark Bilger. His father is one of the assistant coaches on the club, Larry Bilger. James Blackman, out to Bilger. Mark is a 6'1" junior, averaging just under 5 points per game. A minute 50 to go, third quarter. Ball tapped away, and Madison Heights has it and a chance to grab the lead again. Joseph Price, 3-on-2. Price down the middle, takes it all the way, left hands it up. Rebound picked up by Anderson, Madison Heights, but a whistle and a foul on the Marion Giants. You look at it again, and we'll check the guilty party on the personal foul. It'll be on 24. That'll be James Blackman, number 2 on him. We come back to the action at hand with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. 43-42. Marion has a slim 1-point margin. They've been up by 5 this period. Madison Heights has not led in the second half until right now. Winston Morgan with 16. Stu Robinson, by the way, has managed to play this entire third quarter without picking up that fourth personal foul. They get it inside. All by himself was Olds. He couldn't get it to fall. He has the basketball right now. Over to Brad Duncan, to Robinson, to Duncan again. Now they swing the floor to the other side. The weak side is, well, now it's pretty well spread out now. Down to 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Madison Heights up by 1, 46-45. Brad Duncan's been shooting very well. He's going to take it. Won't go. Great position rebound. The ball comes up with 4, with 3, with 2. Here is, he couldn't get the shot away, and that's the end of 3 quarters. 2-3 is one of the best we've had all year. It's 46-45. The number 1 ranked Madison Heights Pirates lead the third ranked Marion Giants. Stay with us for the final quarter of play. So tomorrow night they go to Fort Wayne Northrop. Then on the 30th they're home against North Central. And then on the 6th of February at Logansport, in 2 consecutive home games, the 7th and the 13th of February versus Kokomo Hayworth and Muncie Central. Then they close out the season on the 20th of February at Fort Wayne Center. You Marion Giants fans, continue to back this ball club. Well, they're out in vast force tonight. Capacity here in this arena has been reached at 7690, and I'd say it's right in that area right now. Fourth period, top control by Anderson, Madison Heights. They have a 1-point lead at 46-45. We have just begun the fourth period. And the lead goes to 3 off the field goal from Stu Robinson, his 14th point of the contest. Amazingly, Robinson played, I believe, the entire third quarter and did not even come close to a personal foul. He had 3 going into the contest in that third quarter. Adrianson missing. Rebound pulled out of there by Stu Robinson. Robinson, one of the best point guards in the state of Indiana, according to Phil Buck, and he has had a good night tonight. Scored 14 points, but more importantly, has run the offense particularly well. 3-point lead by Madison Heights. Their biggest lead of the night has been 6. That was back in the first period. Since then, at the best they could come up with was 1 for the most part. Now it's a 3. We played 50 seconds in the fourth period. And now Madison Heights content to play a very deliberate offense, trying to bring Marion out of that 2-3 zone. Man in the middle working so hard is Winston Morgan, number 43. Brad Duncan again. Duncan this time. Rebound, foul. Only on David Bradford. I've got him for 4. David Bradford over the shoulder trying to come into the baseline and pick up that missed shot. Picks up the personal foul. You look at it again, you'll see now watch the shot come long. Now look for 24 to appear on your screen. He'll come right down the bottom of the screen. There he is right there. And there is the collision with Todd Nukes, number 32. And we'll walk to the other end, and Nukes will go to the line. Todd is a 62.5% free throw shooter. He is 2 out of 2. Both those free throws coming in the first period. Well, this one you got to have some shots for that scoreboard just sitting. The clock is just sitting idle up there. Rebound, Jeff Howard of Madison Heights. 48-45. Madison Heights by 3. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Boy, it can get a little quiet in here. That Madison Heights ball club gets the basketball and has a lead like this, so it's not ever very quiet here in the arena. Morgan couldn't get it. Now the rebound was taken down by Joseph Price, and he had it stripped away beautifully as Larry Little walks down to that on the floor. Look at this again. You'll see great position here. Price just goes up and just snares it off of there. Comes right down, and it's taken away from him. And he, as so often happens in that kind of a situation, commits the personal foul. I have Price down now for a couple of fouls. And we'll send Jeff Howard to the line where he's 0 for 1 tonight. Jeff, a 76% free throw shooter, has had many of his field goal opportunities in the baseline. That's his favorite spot on the floor. Good baseline shooter. Good tries for Howard. Madison Heights is only 3 out of 7 from the line tonight, not 4 out of 8. It's a 50-45 lead for Madison Heights. That opens up the biggest lead they've had since very early in this contest. 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Third period. Nukes going to the hoop is fouled. Looks like Jeff Howard will get his third personal foul. Take a look at it again now. Jeff Howard, number 34. They really get bottled up in the baseline. Does Todd Nukes. A lot of bodies down there. Then there is 34, Jeff Howard, the 6'2 senior, coming in and making the body contact. That'll send Nukes back to the line. He was there a couple of seconds ago and failed. See what happens this time. Todd Nukes' best game of the year was 9, and he has scored 6 tonight. They all came in the first quarter. He got the starting call in place of Rob Oles. Rob still suffering with a flu bug a little bit. And Nukes played very well in the first period with 6 points. His average is 2.3. Then a 10 of the 13 game. He hits the pair, and that places it to a 3-point lead now for the Madison Heights Pirates at 50-47 with 2 minutes gone. 4th period. Penetration by Robinson, kicked it away, and last touch by Marion. Hey, one of the things that Madison Heights is doing with this offense, they're eating up an awful lot of the clock. Down to 5:42 now. We're in the 4th period. It's 50-47. Madison Heights up by 3. All by himself is Duncan. And it comes out of there to Marion. Quickly up the right side is Blackman. Stop and go. Got it. Great move offensively by James Blackman, the all-time leading freshman scorer at Marion High. Averaging 11.8. He has 50 assists to his credit. Great rebound inside by the Madison Heights Pirates. Winston Morgan. Boy, he's been a real tough nut to crack off that board, particularly offensively. He has 18 points tonight, averaging 20.2, so he's right on target. 52-49. This shot by Peters, rebound right back in the hands of Winston Morgan. Now the Pirates are pretty much in the driver's seat, at least in this stop in time. They have a 3-point lead at 52-49. They've got the basketball with 4:50 to play, and their offensive patterns have slowed down somewhat. Very deliberately run now. Tremendous effort from Brad Duncan again. Duncan has 12, and the Marion Giants say that is enough for a while. Timeout call with 4:37 to play in this ball game. And the top-ranked Madison Heights Pirates lead Marion by a score. The Ben Davis Giants will be there Ben Davis, coached by Gail Tolles. They're playing South Bend Adams tomorrow night at 7:30 out at Ben Davis. Washington tonight plays Broad Ripple out at Broad Ripple. So that's next Wednesday night. Washington at Ben Davis. And 20 seconds to play in our Friday special edition of our Channel 4 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Two of the top teams in the state. The game billed as the game of the year, and indeed it has been so far, but it's been Madison Heights getting the job done in the fourth period. Their lead is 5 at 54-49. And they've just added 2 more. The outside shooting from Stu Robinson, now with 16. Well, the Giants in a little bit of trouble. Todd Nukes gets him back on the other end. Todd Nukes with his first bucket since the first quarter. He has scored 10 tonight. His average is 2.3, so he's given his fair share. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Stu Robinson again, banks it off the glass. Stu Robinson, I mentioned earlier, Phil Buck says he's a young Isaiah Thomas. Well, he's not afraid to take the shot, I can guarantee you that. 58-51 your score with Madison Heights in front. Nukes out front again. Madison Heights lead cut to 5. Here is the steal. Adrianson is popped in the face and a personal foul called on Brad Duncan. That's his third. Now, one thing Madison Heights is doing is getting a little foul trouble. That is Brad Duncan. Look at it again. It's an accident. There is the steal. Now, it's an accidental smack in the face. Here it comes right here. Boom. He got him. It got part of his arm also. Stu Robinson has 3. Bradford 4. Duncan 3. Howard 3. And Winston Morgan has 3. And with 3:13 to go, that could be a factor. Timeout call. Bill Buck to the Madison Heights Pirates. We'll take a moment and talk things over. I mentioned Rocky Adrianson, a 2-sport standout here at Marion High. He has chosen to go to Northwestern, as I mentioned. He set season and career records for pass completions and passing yardage football-wise here at Marion. Said Indiana coach Lee Corso was recruiting him for the Hoosiers, but his decision was just a matter of picking basketball over football. He is going to Northwestern and play for the Wildcats. That is, of course, where Indiana will be tomorrow night. Larry Little hunkered over in front of the Marion Giants bench, trying to find some way to overcome a 5-point deficit with 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Giants were preseason rated number 1 by AP and number 2 by UPI, behind Muncie Central. This week they're third by both those rating services. Madison Heights. They can overcome the 4, but they make them be very hard to beat. Well, his brother's fighting that. Ask Howard Sharp at Terre Haute North. As his ball club was decimated down to 9 players, only 7 of those semi-healthy, and they still managed to come up with that upset of Pat Rady's Terre Haute South Braves on Wednesday night in our game of the week. Almost a must situation now for Marion as Rocky Adrianson, a 68.5% shooter, goes to the line for the first time this evening. Rebounded by Madison Heights. Giants put on a full-court press. Madison Heights breaks it, get it across the line, and Robinson can't get it to go this time. Jeff Howard on the field goal as the ball was saved on the baseline and thrown right back into his hands. And now it's back to a 7-point lead again at 60-53 inside 2 minutes, inside 3 minutes. And very quickly, Ron Peters counters with 2 of his own. He has a half a dozen now. Almost to steal it backcourt, and finally it is stolen away. 3-on-1, put on the far side to Price for the score. Joseph Price with his 15-point. He had 11 of those in the first half. It's 60-57 with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the contest. Bill Buck off the bench to our right. You see him at the bottom of your screen, trying to get his ball club to spread out. Marion is going to have to come out of that zone. In fact, they're out of it right now, I believe. Madison Heights doing a good job of ball movement, keeping the ball alive and the floor spread. Now we're approaching 2 minutes to play in this ball game. Pirates lead it by 3, 60-57. Now you see, you just got a glimpse perhaps of Larry Little at the bottom of the screen. Came clear across the timeline, yelling at his ball club. Now they're definitely in a man-to-man. They're going to have to do that to stop this four-corner offense. With the ball is Stu Robinson. Down to 1 minute and 40 seconds to play. West Point. Brad Duncan. Well, he's been hot tonight from outside. Now they run Jeff Howard out. Marion may have to commit a foul here. 1 minute and a half to play in the fourth and final period. They got a man into the bucket all by himself. They get him and they score. The alley-oop play to Jeff Howard. Great vision from the outside men of Madison Heights. Marion had him pinned to the timeline, which acts as a third defender in that case. And they still managed to get the alley-oop pass to the baseline, and there was Jeff Howard with a field goal. Let's take a minute here and credit some of the folks who are helping us make our telecast possible, as always. Our executive producer is Don Tillman. Our producer tonight is Michael O'Rourke. And our regular director is Peter Mago. Studio coordinator tonight was Bob Caldwell. Slow motion replay is Mike Slavin tonight. Video, Mike Beddard, Henry Tuck, Jeff Bronner on audio, John Schaefer, Nelson Hastings, and Bob DeLong running our cameras tonight. Steve Haynes working alongside me on the floor as our floor director, and Mike Pope handling graphics. Back in the studio. Gentlemen, one and all, I thank you for an outstanding job well done. Keep in mind now, next Wednesday night we'll be at Ben Davis High School. Gale Toll's Ben Davis Giants, Mason Sofrato's Washington Continentals, and that should be a fine ball game. Washington, as I mentioned at one point of the season, unbeaten and ranked 5th by AP and 3rd by UPI, came to Madison Heights and lost to the Pirates 71-59, their first loss of the year. And that is next Wednesday night. So just jot it down and plan to be with your television set. Situation here at Marion High School. It's a 62-57 basketball game with Madison Heights in front and Marion with a basketball. Joseph Price. Rebound picked off Newts, blocked away and saved outside by Adrianson. He got it, and he is fouled. Rocky Adrianson on a sensational effort just to pick up the loose ball and then follow up for the field goal. And the foul is on number 43, Winston Morgan, and that's his fourth. There is Adrianson, all-time assist leader at Marion High School. His 10th point of the game, his first field goal here in the fourth period, only his second bucket of the second half. And suddenly that 7-point lead is dwindled down to 3 at 62-59 with 1:10 to play. Adrianson will be at the line where he has been there but once tonight and missed that shot. Shooting 68.5% of the year. His best game this year was 22. He will not reach that tonight, barring some kind of a miracle, but he's got a 10-point total. Number 11. And a 7-point lead is scratched to 2, and now Marion's in a hurry. Here comes the lead pass to the right side to Jeff Howard. Almost stolen away, but saved by Stu Robinson. Robinson gets it back out long range to Brad Duncan. Exactly a minute to go on this contest. 62-60. Whistle, foul. Reaching in on Ron Peters. Peters with number 3. And that's only the third foul against Marion here in the second half. So no shots involved yet. Marion will, on the Madison Heights, will inbound over their own bucket. 57 seconds remain. And a foul again on Peters. 2 in a row on him. And it may have looked a little worse than it actually was. Peters realizing that once the ball got into Winston Morgan, they had a sense 2 points. Why give it to him free? He made him work for it. As he picks up the shooting foul, it'll be 2 shots now for Winston Morgan. Morgan is 2 out of 4 from the line. Shoots 76.5% of the year. 18 points total this evening. Big free throw by Winston Morgan. What I'm thinking about it, by the way, this Marion girls basketball team here, ranked number 2 in the state finished their season at 18-0. Number 2 to Benton Central. Madison Heights Ball Club ranked number 19. So, the boys are doing well, so are the girls. 53 seconds to play at 64-60. Here is Adrianson. It will not count. They wipe off the bucket and put the foul on David Bradford. I've got Bradford for 5. They say the bucket will not count. And Bradford picks up the personal foul. You be the judge. Here is the move from Rocky Adrianson. Splits the defense beautifully. Now gets the move inside. Here is the foul being committed right there. And that is the 5th on Bradford. He is gone. Bradford fouling out with 4 points, all coming in the first half. And into the lineup will be Jeff Ritter, number 22. He played briefly in the first half, averaging less than 4 points a game. He is indeed the 6th man for the Madison Heights Pirates. They only play really about 8 men. The roster only includes 10. A couple of those play some JV ball. Scott Manis, Kevin Davis, and Mike Preisending. Situation this with 50 seconds to play. The Madison Heights Pirates lead 64-60. And Rocky Adrianson is at the free throw line. Adrianson with 12. Big free throw here. Rebounded by Winston Morgan. And a good ball call. Number 40 is Joseph Price in the gold uniform for the Marion Giants. Here is the missed shot. Here is the jump ball. As we come back to the action, the tap control of the Madison Heights Pirates. And right down in front of us here, a foul on Joseph Price. Number 3 on him. And the 5th against the Marion Giants. So we'll move on down and take the free throws now. We're at 43 seconds to play, and this is the final period of activity. Marion trailed at the end of the first quarter, 19-15. They led at halftime, 35-32. Madison Heights regained the lead after 3, 46-45. They have kicked that lead to 7 on a couple of occasions here in the fourth period. And now lead by 3, 64-61. An 85% shooter, his first try tonight. 13 for Brad. Madison Heights is 5 for 5 from the line this period. They didn't get to the line in the third quarter of play. 66-61. Madison Heights with the lead and 40 seconds to go. Marion with Adrianson walked with the basketball. Rocky Adrianson turns it over, and very quickly Marion spins around and gets back on defense. Madison Heights getting set up with the inbound passing formation. You see the clock. With 38 seconds remaining, they get it in to Winston Morgan. Morgan goes up the right side to Howard. Howard shut off at the baseline and it almost taken away from him. Down to a half a minute. Foul on Todd Nukes, number 32. That'll be 3 on Todd. Our thanks to all the folks at Marion High School. It'll make it such a joy to come here and do a telecast. You look at Todd Nukes, 6'5" senior, committing that personal foul and sending Winston Morgan back to the line. Morgan with an average of 20.2 has 20 points right now. Marion in the fourth period is 4 out of 7 from the line. Madison Heights is now 7 for 7. Awfully important. You look back on them, aren't they? The lead goes back to 7 again with 25 seconds to play. The Madison Heights Pirates appear to be on their way to their 17th win of the year. Peters can get it, foul call. It is on 21 on your screen, Stu Robinson. That's the first of the second half for Stu. His 4th of the game. Stu picked up the 3rd personal foul in the second quarter and didn't play a great deal of the rest of the first half. Look at it again. Now there's 21 to the left of your screen. There's the foul. And he has played all but the final 19 seconds of the second half without committing a personal foul. Ron Peters, 6'5" senior, missed the last game because of the flu bug. Missing the free throw. 68-61. Peters now with 7. 68-62. Marion in a full court press. Peters commits the foul and I've got him for 5. He will come out of the ball game and Rob Oles will re-enter the lineup. Peters is gone with 7 points. Averaging 15-6. Top end of the year, 25. And Jeff Howard goes to the line where he is 2 out of 2 this evening in this quarter and 2 out of 3 in the game. 68-62. Anderson Madison Heights has a 6-point lead with 16 seconds remaining. And this is the free throw attempt by Jeff Howard. Heights' tallest ball player is 6'4". Brad Duncan is 6'4", as is Winston Morgan. They sure get a lot of distance out of those other fellas. And that'll about do it. They steal the inbound pass to Robinson does. We're down to 14 seconds. Now we're down to 10. 70-62. That's the biggest lead that anybody's had tonight. The foul is clocked against the wind down on Dukes, number 4. And Stu Robinson goes to the line. Anderson Madison Heights Pirates will again be number 1 in the rankings next week. No reason to even suggest otherwise. South Bend LaSalle second in both of the polls, then the Marion Giants. Stu Robinson, who averages 21-9, now with 19. Rebounded by Nukes, quickly out to Adrianson. Double it near side, and it won't go. And that kind of tells the story of this ball game. James Blackman missed 2 of them from right under the hoop, but that pretty much tells the tale. Larry Little and Phil Buck shake hands right directly in front of us here. You won't find 2 finer gentlemen and 2 finer coaches in the entire state than those 2 men right there. Final score, Anderson Madison Heights 71, the Marion Giants 6 onside. Bill, you've been in this game a long, long time, 15 years at Madison Heights. Does it ever get to be old, happen to go up against your cross-area rivals like Muncie Central and Marion and people like that?
No, every ball game's a new experience, Jerry. Different group of kids, different situations arise. It's unbelievable. Different things can happen to you in 30 years.
I'm impressed by your ball club, and looking down your roster, your tallest man is 6'4". You got a couple of them. But you told me in the information sheet that you sent to me, they play very well together, and the cohesiveness has been the real key to your success this year.
I think that was very evident tonight. I thought the difference in the ball game tonight was Bradford and Howard, 2 of our unsung heroes that you don't hear a whole lot about because they don't score a lot. But I thought the 2 people done a beautiful job both offensively and defensively.
Winston Morgan is quite a player.
Well, I still say Winston's one of the finest defensive people. I don't mean defensive, board people in the world. He has soft hands. He moves well. I thought Marion did an excellent job of checking him out the first half. We did a little better job getting him to the board the second half.
Well, now, what do you got coming up here? Your next opponents, you can't, this was a big game for you in a couple of respects because now do you face a letdown? Could that be a problem? You're going to get your ball club fired back up again.
We haven't faced a letdown all year, Jerry, because it's a tremendous challenge to these kids. They have never been winners. Up through the grades, junior high, freshman, they've never really been winners. But they got together as a group, and they've responded beautifully. Now, we won't have a letdown because we can't celebrate the win over Marion. We've got Muncie North next week. The following week, we've got Muncie Central and Chittard Friday and Saturday night. Then it's Richmond, Muncie South, like that. So we don't have
just an easy way home.
We've got one of the toughest schedules in the state, but I think it's going to help us.
Congratulations on the victory. Good luck to you and your team, and good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you very much. Phil Buck, the coach of the Anderson Madison Heights Pirates. The final score again was 71-62. We'll briefly tell you some of the individual scoring. First off, from Madison Heights, they were led by Winston Morgan, who had 22 points. Brad Duncan finished up with 14 and 19 out of Stu Robinson tonight, despite being in foul trouble early in that second period. For the Marion Giants, it was James Blackman, who had 16 points, but that is a key part of this ball game. James had 12 of the 16 in the first half. He had 1 field goal in each third and the fourth quarters of activity. A dozen points for Rocky Adrianson and for Todd Nukes. Todd put into the starting role tonight. 15 points for Joseph Price, and the other 7 belonged to Ron Peters. Final score again was 71-62. 5:32 Marion at halftime. At the end of 3, 46-45 Madison Heights again. Then they ran that lead to 8, and they win it by the 9-point total of 71-62. And now are still unbeaten. Their record goes to 17-0. Marion now is 12-2 on the year. And an outstanding basketball game by both these clubs. Again, our thanks to the folks here at Marion High for making our trip here such a pleasant one. Any reproduction of our telecast is strictly forbidden without the express written permission of WTTV, who also has approval of the announcers we use in our telecast. This is Jerry Baker. Well, wait a minute here. Larry Little is coming. Let's take a second here and chat with Larry. Our executive producer, Don Tillman, is pointing Larry out here. Larry, I am sorry for the loss. You and I have known each other a long, long time, so I know that you're going to say it's a ball game you got to give the other team credit for. They played awfully well tonight.
They played awfully well, and we committed a lot of turnovers. I think they had something to do with it. I don't think we played as well as we're capable of, but that doesn't take anything away from Madison Heights, our excellent basketball team.
At the early outset of the ball game, both clubs having a little trouble getting together. Were there some nerves on the floor tonight, Larry, did you feel?
I'm sure there probably was, Jerry. You know, the ball game was made out to be a very, very emotional type of game, and I think it really was that. I think it affected them, and I think it affected us. I think they settled down a little quicker than what we did, and we had some real opportunities that we missed, and we missed some at the free throw line, and we gave the ball up sometimes without scoring, and that was really the difference in the game.
Talking to your cross-court coach, Phil Buck, he says we cannot let down. There might be a tendency to let down after such an emotional game. He says they can't do that, and obviously you can't either with the way your schedule wraps up.
Well, we got a ball game tomorrow night. They don't have that, so they got a little chance to, to get themselves back together and play next week.
You're going to Fort Wayne Northrop tomorrow night.
Fort Wayne Northrop, and they're a good basketball team. And every time we go to Fort Wayne, or Fort Wayne comes here, it doesn't make any difference who it is. They play us tough. They're just that competitive determination that Fort Wayne has against Marion, and I think Marion has against Fort Wayne. So it'll be a tough ball game tomorrow night.
Thanks for coming out, Larry. Good luck tomorrow night and the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Jerry. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having us. Larry Littlehead.